Hey everybody, thanks for clicking that thumbnail. Welcome to Talking Habs. And today, well, you see I'm wearing black. I'm gonna review the game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers that was in Montreal, and it was a brutal 3-0 loss. I'm going to tell you all about it. I've got a lot to say here. And yeah, we'll do that. If you are a Habs fan like I am and you want to see more Habs content in the form of videos and game reviews and previews and live streams, hit that subscribe button. That's what it's called. Hit the subscribe button and ring that notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. This is not I'm not normally this somber, but it was a really disappointing loss last night, and yeah, I mean, I got a lot to say, so let's start. I'm going to tell you about the goals, how they were scored as best I can. Remember, I live streamed, so I didn't see it. Well, actually, I saw the goals. All right, first goal, 8:27 left in the first, and it's the Oilers. They get on the board, and it is Kara. I don't know how you spell it. I think it's Kara. Kara? It's not Kiara. It's Kara, but it's spelled like Kyra. Okay, so he gets his second from Archibald and Ennis, and this starts with a turnover in the Oilers zone. Yeah, in the offensive zone. And the key here is Edmonton. Edmonton is inside the Montreal blue line, and he's sort of near the boards, and I don't know who it is that goes around him, but literally goes around him on the inside against the boards, and I don't know, did Edmonton even move? It's almost like Edmonton was in slow motion and the other guy was in fast forward, and he just went around him, and they call it turnstile because as he went around him, sort of, Edmonton started to turn. But I mean, he was just caught flat-footed, and that led to this goal. Maybe, you know, it was a bit of a snipe to the inside over his blocker. No, I don't know. It was a snipe anyway. It was a good shot, but I still think that was the one goal maybe Allen could have had back. The other two, I don't think you can fault him on. Next one was in the second period, 1:27. And this is credited to Darnell Nurse, but I don't even know if he touched the puck. I think he was just the closest Oiler to it. And it was an own goal. And what happened is there's a shot at Allen. I don't know, the puck kind of bobbles around. It gets behind him, and Weber is there right at the side of the net, and he tries to clear it. And I don't know the Canadiens player, if it was Deneau or Drew, somebody was there, and Weber's clearing attempt hit on the shin pad, and it kind of went in. And Weber put it right back out, but it crossed the line and it was a goal. And yeah, so it was a weird, fluky, kind of crazy goal. Can't blame Allen because his own guy scored it on him. And yeah, so unlucky there, I guess. Anyway, so Nurse gets the goal, his sixth, unassisted, of course, because he didn't even touch it. So yeah, so that's the way it's going. And I'm going to tell you, and I got proof of this because I was live streaming. What I saw on that goal was Habs weren't winning this game. It wasn't happening. And it was early in the second period, and Habs weren't going to win the game. And that's just how it was. And I said it in the live stream. I said, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I see. Just the way they're playing. There's no urgency to their game. There's not, I just you know, I don't know what's going on. And it turned out that way. So they just didn't look right. Third period, it gets there at 4:44. There's a power play. And this is by Barry. It's a screenshot. And, you know, this is the one that went over the blocker of the stick. He was kind of thought it was coming in low, and it went up a little bit higher than he thought. I think that's what it is. But he was screened, and he didn't really see it. No time to react. I can't really blame him on that goal. So, you know, I don't think this loss at all was Allen's fault. Problem here was they made Mike Smith look like a great goalie. Now, Mike Smith is a good goalie, but he's old now, and he's on the downswing, obviously, at his age. And the only thing is, I've seen this happen so many times over my life. You get for Mike Smith, it's his Smith, by the way, it's not Smith. His second game of the season, so it's early. For him, it's like the beginning of the season. You see that goalies come in, they're hot. 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Wow, they got less than one goal against for their average. Look at their save percentage, and then it evens out, right? This is what Smith is going through. That's one of the things I think happened here. Montreal's not taking shots that are high danger shots. They got tons of shots. Just, I don't know, are they high danger? I don't think so. They're not getting in and getting those good shots. And they're not finishing. Okay, let's get... So that's Barry's third from Draisaitl and McDavid. And consider that McDavid and Draisaitl, 1 assist each this whole game. They shut them down. So they did that part well. So that's it. That's the scoring for the game. Allen made 28 saves on 31 shots, 903 save percentage. Smith, 38 on 38. Perfect. Shots on goal, 38 for Montreal, 31 for the Oilers. So there's 38 shots. They're getting a ton of shots. But how many were quality? There weren't a ton of quality shots that I saw. Face-off percentage, that's what's going to kill them this season. Is going to kill them. It's 45% for Montreal, 55% for Edmonton, and it's basically both their averages. It's not like, actually Montreal a little lower and Edmonton a little higher, but I mean by a percentage point, so they're played to their average. 0 for 1 on the power play. I want to say power play units suck, but I mean they only got the one opportunity. It's hard to judge them on that, on one opportunity. The Oilers were 1 for 3 on the power play. Montreal out-hit Edmonton 44-26, so that automatically kind of makes you think, well, they weren't carrying the puck as much. So that's not really good, actually, right? Yeah, there was this nice hit by Petrie, Draisaitl trying to break right at the net, too, trying to break through them, like in the slot, and nice hip check by Petrie. So that was good. 3 stars of the night. Now, the official 3 stars were all Edmonton Oilers, but I didn't really agree. McDavid was one of the stars. He was good. I'm not saying he wasn't. I mean, he can skate through anything. line up the whole team in the offensive zone. McDavid's going to get to the net. It's just he's amazing that way. So maybe that's why they gave him first star. I don't know, but he had first star. I just didn't agree with them. So since I mostly try to give it to a Habs player if I can, I am going to give third star to Mike Smith for the shutout. He got a shutout, get a first star, third star. I thought the best player for the Montreal forwards-wise or skating-wise was Josh Anderson. He was still trying. He had some emotion. It kind of maybe wavered a little bit towards the end of the game, but at least he was exhibiting these things and showed that sense of urgency. And you know what? Jake Allen had a really good game. I don't blame him on any of this. 1 goal. He gave up 1 goal. You should win that game. The other 2 were not his fault. You can't blame him on it. So I think Jake Allen was fantastic again, and he gets a first star. That's for me. Let me know if you agree. If you don't, let me know in the comment section. So now I'm going to be all over the board here. I'm sorry, but it was I was really kind of upset after the game. I was going to do this, and I thought, you know what? I didn't watch it 100% because I live stream. Let me get all the stuff out, watch, and then make my decisions and make a smart, hopefully, smart review. And so I tried to do that. I watched a bunch of things. I watched the highlights. I watched people's reactions. Here's my reaction to it. First of all, is it time to panic? It's 4 games. They've had 4 lousy games in which they won 1, kind of barely, over the worst team in the division. Is it time to panic after that? You know what? I'm going to say no, but it's a very soft no. It's kind of a yes, no, like I put up here. Yes, no. I don't know if it's time to panic yet. I'm not panicking, but I may look back and say, I should have panicked back then. I don't know. So is it time to panic? I don't really think so yet. There's the game against Toronto tomorrow. If they lose that badly, maybe it is time to panic. We're going to talk about it, but not yet. There was no urgency to their game. I felt that. Even though I was live streaming and I wasn't 100% concentrated on it, I felt there was no urgency to it. And I said it at some point, there's no urgency to their game. What's going on? And, you know, there wasn't that fast pace, that speed. They weren't able to get their speed going really and make use of it. And I don't know. couldn't untrack the forecheck. The forecheck, to me, didn't seem to get going because, if anything, Edmonton's forecheck was working and it was keeping Montreal from establishing theirs and establishing any domination. Edmonton, we got Edmonton as the defense. Edmonton, they played their game and they didn't allow Montreal to, and Montreal's been doing that a lot. Adapting to the other team's game, play your own game. And Edmonton just, I don't know, just always seemed to be on them. And what I wanted to see Montreal do with the forecheck, just hit them and be on the puck all the time and all that stuff. And they weren't doing that. Passing wasn't sharp. Passing was not sharp. It was horrible. It was like, I don't know, they just couldn't make good, crisp passes. They bobbled the puck around. No puck luck to their game. It was bad that way. So their passing wasn't sharp, no puck luck. Bad bounces. That second goal, that was a bad bounce. Stuff like that was affecting them. And they just couldn't get on track. Face-offs are hurting this team. Now, can we do anything about it? Not really. You got 3 young guys in there, and one of them, in Evans, I don't know about, I didn't check the numbers for each individual guy this game, but he's starting to come around and be better, but they've got to get their face-offs up. I don't know how you do it in a short period of time. It's going to be a problem all season, and it is hurting them. Allen not at fault for the loss, as I said, but it creates a thing here. They still lost 3-0. Who plays Saturday against the Leafs? It's now a problem. Is it a controversy? I don't think so. I don't think it's that. It's not, because if Allen shut out the Oilers and all that, then we'd have a controversy. Because here, look, Allen had a shutout. Price wasn't playing very well, but even though Allen played well, they lost. Is there still a controversy? I don't know. I want to say you got to go back with Price because you want him to get on track, and he's got to do it, and you got to force him into it. But then again, those 2 points are super important, and Allen's the one that's playing well, and you got to come back with Allen. So which one is it? I think the points are too important. I think you got to come back with Allen. I don't know. If it turns out that Allen is the better goalie this season, maybe that's what it is. So it begs a question. I said I'm going to go all over the place. I think I wrote it here. If I didn't write it here, it begs the question of Carey Price. Is he, does Price need to play more and not less? Somebody in that somebody is Jeff said to me, and maybe that's the case, that Carey Price, this isn't working for him. He actually needs to play more, and that was the reason why they had to get rid of Halak, because they needed to make Price into what he is, and maybe the fact that he's a workhorse, he's not having an easy time at not being that workhorse, even though he says he's enjoying it. I don't know. Is that the problem? Do they need to play Price more? If they play Price more and then Allen sits, he's playing fantastic. Does he now get worse because he's rusty and he's not playing enough? It's a conundrum. So, what's the reason for the panic everybody's having? 6 goals in the last 4 games. 2 of them against Ottawa. And then Edmonton, who they beat up on for 2 games, and they couldn't score against them, and only 3 goals against Ottawa. That's a problem. When you consider in the 4 previous games, they scored 15 goals, even though they were shut out by Calgary in one of those games. And they still scored 15 goals. Now, the counter to that is it was against 2 of the games were against Vancouver, and that was 11 goals in those 2 games. So, is Montreal as good as we thought? Or are they only good against the shitty teams? But then that question is, well, if that's the case, what happened with Ottawa? Because they weren't good against Ottawa. They barely squeaked out that second win, and the first one, what happened? So, I don't know. There's a problem. Where is the problem? Is it time to juggle the lines? I think so. I think maybe we need some line juggling. Maybe not till after the Toronto game. Okay, there's one more game, then they have a break. I don't know. But I think it's time to do something like that. Is it time to juggle the coaches? Big question out there, is Claude Julien going to get fired? Should you fire Claude Julien over this? I don't know the answer to that. I honestly don't. I can't decide. If it were up to me, and I was in Marc Bergevin's place, I'd probably resign and not. I don't know. It's a tough decision. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, what about Muller and the power play systems? Should they change up their system? Are the teams knowing how they're going to play and they know how to solve it? Ottawa kind of showed them what to do, and is that it for them now? Everybody knows what they're going to do, and they're going to be easy to play against. So they have to juggle systems, coaches, juggle the lines. It's weird how it can go from, wow, this team is fantastic, wow, we're going to win the cup, to look at the question marks, look what's happening. It's the way, that's sports. That's professional sports. We need puck movers on D. We need a puck mover on D. We don't have enough. We got Jeff Petrie. That's it. That's it. And you want to say Alex Romanov, and he is, but he's too young. He's too inexperienced. He's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. Can't be relied on that way. And we don't have puck movers. This was a problem that we kind of knew. Mete's one of the puck movers, and Mete's a good puck mover. And his the advanced analytics, his are amazing. But he's small. If you had a few more inches on him, we wouldn't even be questioning this. But does Mete have to come in here? Do they have to figure out a new system with the D? And Mete is a big part of that, because we need another puck mover. We need one on each line. Would be great. Give us one. I don't know who else in our system right now that can play here is a puck mover besides Mete. Is Willette? I don't know. Cale Fleury's not. I don't think he is. So, big question. Why are they better on the road? Why are they better on the road? The power play is clearly better on the road, and it's been like that for a couple of years at least. Last year, Montreal had the third best power play on the road, and they had almost the worst power play at home. Why is that? And why isn't that what they're looking at? Instead of saying, oh, let's change up this and change up that, why not try to figure out what's the difference going on between the road and at home? There's something different. And it's not just the power play. Won-loss record, I think, is better on the road. The intensity level is better on the road. Now, I understand the road, it's harder to win. You got to have that. But why isn't that at home either? Why aren't you doing it both places? If you're going to do that on the road, do that at home first. I don't get it. So there's a problem. Is that a coaching problem? Is that the Deneau situation this year? But is it a coaching problem that with their attitude, their lack of urgency in a game where they kind of needed to win this game against Edmonton? They needed to win that, because now what are they? They're facing two more games. Their next two games against Toronto. Granted, there's a 7-day break, but it's still two more games against Toronto that they didn't play well against. They did in the very first game of the season, but they didn't play well against them the last game. The intensity has to get better. They have to play better at home. They've got to be more consistent. Their power play has to be more consistent. Their penalty kill has to be more consistent. And right now, their thing that they were doing the best is scoring goals. That's out. They're not able to do that these days. They made Mike Smith look like he's brilliant. Is the Deneau situation a problem in the room? I wonder, because there's so much talk about it. And look the way he's playing. He's got, 5 assists. He hasn't scored a goal in his last, I've seen 33 games, 36 games, 42 games. I don't know how many games it's been. He hasn't scored a goal in forever. Is that affecting the room? Is that affecting their play? Is that affecting the coaching? I mean, it doesn't really make sense. So I don't really have any, answers. They have a 7-day break coming up, as I just said. If they're going to make any decisions on juggling the coaches, maybe take Muller off of the power play and put Ducharme there. Maybe they're going to fire Muller just to shake things up with the coaches. Maybe they're going to fire Julian. If you're going to do that, though, this is the time after the Toronto game. You got 7 days. If you make a change, you got 7 days to install that new system to make sure that change is taking effect. And then when you hit the ice again the Saturday following, you're ready. So this is the time. If they're making any changes, that's coaching decisions. Are they making good coaching decisions? I don't think so. There's so many times I've looked at it as, what is the coach doing? you got to look at that. That's why management. I think Bergevin is doing a good job. But right now he's got a hard job to do. I wouldn't want to be him. He's got to make a lot of decisions, and they got to happen in this 7 days off. That's when they got the time to fix this problem through practice and installing new systems. They've got the time without having to do it during the game. So that's what I suggest. After the game tomorrow, whatever the outcome, you can make your decision, what you're going to do, and do it, and let this team move forward, because something is wrong here in Montreal right now. Point final. I want it to be more positive, but how can you be positive after a loss like that? And I don't know where to go. We've all been kind of rah about this team, and they're coming down again. This is kind of like every year. Great start, and then something happens. If it's an injury that shows there's lack of depth and this and that. If they just have a great start and then everything just breaks down. We've seen this again and again, it seems, with this team. What is the solution? They need to find out what the solution is, and they need to do it. This is the last break they have. After this break, 7 days, it's every second day, if not every day. So it's either back-to-back games, or you got a day off in between. That's it, right up until the last 2 games against Toronto, where I think they have a 3-day break. That's it, all the way, I checked, all the way right through. It's every day or every second day. So there's no time to make a move. It's going to be harder to make that move effective. You got to do that move now. So are they going to? I don't know. I'm just a YouTuber. I don't really know. But that's my opinion. If they're going to make a move, do it now. Whatever the change is, if it's just Muller on the power play or if it's the head coach, do something. And any kind of line changes, do them so that you can work on it in practice. Do it now. Right after the game to Toronto. Because it's not going to be effective after that. It's going to be harder to do. Anyways, I don't want to ramble anymore. It's a long video. It's all over the place, as the Montreal Canadiens are. What do they do? Is there going to be a coach change, line changes, GM change? I don't think that's going to happen. What are they going to do? When are they going to do it? Hopefully soon. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, if you think I'm nuts, if you think I'm not mad enough, whatever it is you think, let me know in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tomorrow game is going to be what's going to happen. Hope to see you there. I live stream before the game. I live stream all the way through the game. And yeah, check us out, and peace out. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next video. Bye, everybody.